So what is the scan logic? This AutoConfig scan logic that our NIC card uses. Let's actually call this AutoConfig. So this is the process by which we're going to come up with those networks that we're using. Okay. And this is Microsoft's AutoConfig scan logic, right? But most of them follow about the same process. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. First off, we enable the wireless LAN card. Obviously, on your laptop, you have buttons to enable or disable that, depending on the laptop. So first off, you enable the wireless LAN card, or you power on the machine. Once you do that, the wireless card is actually going to scan using null. Now, what does this mean? Well, usually we're scanning for specific SSIDs, right? This process is actually leaving that field blank, saying, I'm contacting AP. Usually it would say, I'm contacting AP guest, or I'm contacting AP, whatever the SSID is. In this case, the scan is going through null. It's sending it out with a blank space where the SSID is. And it's sending it out everywhere, the entire spectrum that it is available to. So all the channels, everything, it's just sending out this null statement. All the APs in the area will respond. Unless they have broadcast turned off, unless you set them to not respond. APs are going to respond to this null probe. And then your wireless network card can begin to bring in all these wireless networks that are available. Then the wireless network card says, hey, okay, now I have this giant list of APs who've responded to me. Are any of those in the preferred networks list? Oh, yes? Then I'm going to try and connect. If I successfully connect, great, I'm connected. But what if I fail? What if my connection fails? Or let's say somehow I'm outside of my network, my preferred network list, or I've erased my network list, or maybe it's a new implementation. Then the answer is no, right? So we're going to scan using each preferred network's name. So now, if the AP is set to not respond to this null broadcast, we're actually going to scan for it specifically. Okay, I'm going to start putting in the preferred network name. So if guest was one of my preferred network names, or office 2, I think, was from the last slide as well. We're going to actually use those two names and go after specific networks. All right. After doing that, has the network been detected? Did I detect guest or office? Oh, okay. Yes, I did. All right, I'm going to try and connect. If I connected, that's fine. I got a connection now. But if not, if I couldn't find any of those networks, or I failed, what do I do next? Well, this is the part that many of you don't know, or many of you have never seen before. I now begin to scan for ad hoc networks. Yeah, those mesh networks from node to node with no AP, no infrastructure. That's what you're going to do. Do you have any preferred ad hoc networks? Yes or no? Now, there was a process in 2012 that was changed because ad hoc networks would automatically form as long as one network was trying to ping other nodes. That stopped in 2012. Okay, just not too long ago, that stopped so that you're not forming ad hoc networks. Okay. So what happens if I find a preferred ad hoc network? What's going to happen is once we've scanned for those ad hoc networks, if I find an ad hoc network SSID on the preferred list, I'm going to try and connect. If not, we're going to do this, okay? If I don't have an ad hoc network on my preferred networks list, or I can't find or connect to an ad hoc SSID on the preferred list, we are going to display one or more wireless networks are available. Now, we're only going to do this if a wireless network is available, and it'll show up as that icon we saw before. Oh, I'm doing a horrible job at this. For 5 bars, and then it's going to have that asterisk right here. That's what you'll see on your network menu bar. But let's talk a little bit more about this ad hoc network. What happens if I do have an ad hoc network and I try to connect? What's going to happen? Well, if I can't connect to that group, I'm going to set the card as an ad hoc network as the first node. And then I'm going to send out notifications to all my friends to try and join me. Now, like I said, this behavior changed in 2012. Now, other nodes in that little network that you're trying to create will be asked if they want to join your ad hoc network. So be aware of this behavior as well. So there is the basic flow of how we create that list. You know, that list you see all the time of networks are available. That just doesn't happen on its own. We have to go through an entire process to get there. It's all behind the scenes, but now you guys know how it goes.